Nice to have your company on this edition of Racing to Win. Our second cup race of the afternoon at Sha Tin Sunday is the Chinese Recreation Club Challenge Cup. 1,400 metres on the turf, Class 4. Diamond Rhyme is the horse that drops in grade. He's had 2 runs for the new stable of Chris So at the back end of last season. Has trialled well leading in. Viva Council's drawn awkwardly. Carefree Prince, more speed in the race. King's Race has his second career start. And then we go down to Victory Power, who's moved from Richard Gibson to Douglas White. Over the page, we've got Murray's Partner for Blake Shin. Winning Controller, lots of gear changes with Sprint Forward. Joe Moreira rides Hurricane Hunter. Telecom Rocket's got a bad draw, gate 14. And Dionysus Colin, a lightweight. And the Plum Alley for Matthew Chadwick. Murray's Partners from race 7 is the horse that's been doing his preparation up at Chun Fa. All right, well, on paper, there does look to be a number of horses that will charge forward in the early stages. So let's have a look at the speed map and see where they're drawn and where they may end up in the early stages. Tom, how do you see it unfolding?
We've got a horse like Carefree Prince with that claim of Alfie Chan. He's got a number of horses on the program that can certainly roll forward, so he's going to be the horse that sits up on the pace. You've got Victory Power, who's interesting here. He was midfield in a recent trial. He boxed on OK. Diamond Rhyme was the horse in a trial that did lead, so he's a horse that normally gets a little bit further back, but maybe with those options of leading, they potentially sit a little bit further forward. Winning Controller, Simple Elegant, Telecom Rocket, they're all horses that can roll forward, but here, with where they're drawn, they're going to potentially settle back. Yeah,
and as you can see, even Viva Council out wider there, another one that might want to press on. So good looks to be the early pace, potentially, for race number 7. Let's have a look at the track work with Paul Alley. Paul?
Yeah, Viva Council, the first horse we're going to have a look at here. He's had the benefit of a run already, and he seems to have come out of it OK. Look, he strides out nicely here. He's just got the awkward draw to overcome, but as far as he looks good, and the horse travels really nicely here. Does that horse. King's Race has only had the 1 start. He ran really well on that occasion. He's had a good trial as well. So he looks like he's on the improve, this horse. He's a 4-year-old now. Jimmy Ting and Vincent Ho will team up. Nice, quiet work from him, but he does look a nice recruit. And Victory Power, now Douglas White's done all the work on him. He's put the blinkers back on him, and the horse looks really well placed. He's run really well fresh in the past as well. So I think he'll go well.
All right, let's firstly focus in. We've got a few to look at here on Viva Council, who is a horse that generally likes to roll forward. He has come up with a wide barrier. That's him there as they corner for home. On this occasion, Dionysus Colin had a wide gate, but he's got barrier number 1, which is a real positive for him, I would have thought, going into Sunday.
Regular partner Dylan Moore aboard Viva Council. Whether he's got enough speed to try and cross the likes of Carefree Prince and Diamond Rhyme is yet to be seen, but he's a 4-time winner. He got really badly checked over the final stages here when it was tightened up. Sunshine Warrior lay in over the concluding stages. Dionysus Colin was an interesting horse because he was a lot more relaxed in the parade ring this time round, Paul. Yeah,
and it looks like he's had a good summer, and from barrier number 1 with the benefit of a run. I found a place for Dionysus Colin. I think he'll run all right.
Yeah, I think that that low barrier is certainly the most interesting scenario for a Dionysus Colin after having barrier number 13. Right, let's press on. Diamond Rhyme. We know when he first arrived here, he looked capable of winning a Class 3. Had a couple of runs at the end of last season. Recent trial suggests he's going nicely. It's an easier race for him.
Yeah, now, of course, Diamond Rhyme. And it does look an easier race. He's down now here into Class 4. Still a 12-start maiden. He had that one, as you mentioned, it was a really good run when he ran second. Look, I haven't put him in. He comes in with a top weight. I think there's some more credentialed horses in this, but I'm interested to see how he goes.
You can see in this trial a lot behind him were flat out chasing him, apart from maybe the 3rd horse, but he seemed to do it well. 2.25 lengths, so a length that 2 1/4 lengths was his winning margin on this occasion when they decided to roll forward.
I think he can clearly win this. He's got the talent, but where he ends up, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I would have preferred Simple Elegant probably over 1,650 metres, or 1,600 as opposed to the 1,400 or 1,650 at the Valley. And King's Race has only had the 1 start. That was at the back end of last season.
King's Race is a horse that certainly interests me here for Vincent Ho. Jimmy Ting, 4th in a trial. Simple Elegant was 2nd. in that trial. Megatron was able to win that trial as well. But Simple Elegant here you can see finishing off okay. King's Race certainly finishing off nicely as well. So I'm quite inclined to go here with King's Race.
I've got him in the numbers, King's Race. I thought it was a really good run from him. He had a low draw on that occasion, and he's got barrier. What barrier has he got? 8. A little bit awkward, but I still think he'll run all right.
All right, a couple more to look at. Hurricane Hunter, we know he can be effective in these types of races. Let's focus in on him trialling here. He sits back and closes in, and obviously a lot of interest will focus around Douglas White's horses now that he's begun in a blaze of glory, and Victory Power under his care for the first time.
Yeah, and I like Victory Power in this race. He's a very consistent horse. He's still on a rating of 52 without winning. I mean, he's had 16 starts, but 9 of those he's been in the money, so of Victory Power. And I just really like the way he maps with those blinkers on. So I really like him in this particular race. I think he's going to be tough to beat.
You can see Hurricane Hunter charging home there on a wet all-weather surface. I think he's more than capable in this grade, but just hasn't quite been able to get on the score sheet, Class 4.
Yeah, there's a few in this you can sort of and ah about, aren't there? But definitely quite a few chances, I would have thought, for our second cup race of the day. You threw them up in the air, Paul, and they came down in what order?
I like Victory Power. I think this is a really nice race for him. Douglas White's got the horse going well. He's done all the work on himself, and he puts the blinkers back on as well, and he just mapped really well, and I thought this is his race. So I really like him this race. He's come up at 4.4, so not a bad price here. The nicest Colin with that really good barrier draw. He's another one that should get a really nice run in transit. King's Race, he's only had the 1 start. And Carrying Brilliance, look, he looked really good when he did win last term. He's going to get across, I think, from his draw and sit outside the leader. So he will be on the pace in the C+3 course. So another one that will have his opportunity at a price. But 6, 14, 4, 8, but I really like the 6 in this.
Yeah, 6 on top for me as well, Victory Power. Douglas White, we know his great record so far with these stable transfers, 3 from 3 basically for him, and he's the one I think they all have to beat here. Gear changes, tongue tie off, crossover the nose band going on, the blinkers being reapplied. So he's on top. King's Race goes in. Hurricane Hunter, he's more than capable, but he seems to like winning in Class 5. And Sprint Forward's interesting. A whole lot of gear changes. Has trialled just okay. Did lead in that barrier trial and was let coast to the line. So 6, 4, 12 and 11. Yeah,
it's a good competitive betting race, no doubt about that. I'm going to give Telecom Rocket a chance. I think from the wide gate, they might take the option to go back. A lot of his initial runs in that situation, and he found the line well. So I'll take a chance with him at a price if he goes back and hits the line hard, hopefully off a good, strong tempo to run at. All right, that's race 7. We're going to take another break here on Racing to Win. When we come back, races 8, 9 and 10.